Tired of your old kitchen or bathroom? Upgrade to the home of your dreams with Manny and Courtney from CMK Construction. CMK Construction is Tampa's award-winning kitchen and bath leader for over 20 years. Right now, save $3,000 on a new kitchen and $2,000 on a new bathroom. And take advantage of our no money down and no interest financing until 2026. Imagine, design, build.
Streaming from the Tampa Bay 28 Weather Center in Studio A. This is Dennis Phillips Live. Brought to you by CMK Construction, crafting Tampa's most exquisite bathrooms and kitchens.
How you doing, everybody? It is 7:30 on a Monday evening. I'm Tampa Bay 28 Chief Meteorologist Dennis Phillips. Welcome to Dennis Phillips Live, as always, broadcasting live on the spot. You may have heard at some point in time, but we are the official broadcast partner of the Tampa Bay Lightning, and the Lightning are on break. The winter games are going on right now. So we were watching John Cooper, the Bolts coach, last week saying, you know what? I hope they step away from the game if they're not part of the games. I hope they step away. I hope they actually have an opportunity to, take a little bit of a break, enjoy some time off before they start the stretch run to the playoffs. So, we've got that going on. So that means DPL will be on every single night on broadcast for the next couple of weeks. We're always on streaming. We're always on YouTube. We're always on Facebook and Instagram and everywhere else. And by the way, speaking of the socials, Carol, how you doing? Clearwater, nice to see you. Anna Maria, as always. Dave, Marion Lillman, how you guys doing? We have Red, nice to see you. Laura and Annie and Gina. Watching from Pinellas Park, Eric, good to see you. Home Sass is in the house from Karen, Michelle, Debbie, Ren, nice to see you. Spring Hill, Lynn. So we got lots of folks here. Red wants to know if we're warming up. Well, we are. We are definitely warming up, but the mornings are still going to be kind of chilly. This morning we started in the lower 30s. Now, we're going to jump into weather tonight because starting in the next break, we are going to come back with, we're going to talk about, we've been talking for the last few weeks, and I've been sharing a lot of pictures from Three Sisters, up in Citrus County, where the Manatees have been huddled together because it has been so stinking cold out there. The water temperature now has dropped into the 50s in the Gulf. The last I checked, Clearwater was in the lower 60s. And in spite of all the cold weather, my daughter, Ryan's like, Dad, can we go swim with the Manatees? I'm like, yeah, no, I don't think that's going to happen. And, she was persistent. And you know how that normally goes. When your daughter is persistent, eventually at some point you break. And in my case, it's usually sooner than later. So we're going to be talking about what's going on in Citrus County, in the Crystal River area. Look, I think a lot of folks have probably over the years maybe heard about the opportunity to swim with the Manatees. And, I know Crystal River, knowing it for scalloping, and I had never been a manatee swimmer before. And I'm going to be honest, I never really cared about being a manatee swimmer before. It was not on my list. But when your daughter asks, you do your best. Let me tell you, and I'll get into that in a couple of minutes, had the time of my life. Never expected that. Knew the water would be ridiculously cold, and we're going to talk about that as well. So that's coming up in a couple of minutes, but really had an amazing time. And I'm going to share some pictures with you, and we're going to be talking with some of the folks who took us out yesterday, and also some really interesting tidbits about the Manatees and about the cold water and about Citrus County and Crystal River that I never knew. And I left yesterday having, one, the time of my life, and two, learning a lot about the creatures. That was absolutely amazing. So we're going to get into that coming up in a couple of minutes. But first, I do want to jump right in and talk about the weather, because we are in a stretch of some really, really nice weather coming up over the next few minutes. Donna, Concord, North Carolina. Good to see you. Now, Donna, is it Concord like it is up north, or is it Concord like it is down south? I'm curious, because like I used to live up north and it was Worcester, Massachusetts, but it looks like Worcester. So inquiring minds do want to know. There's a look at the radar right now. Temperatures anywhere from the mid-50s, Crystal River 54, Brooksville 56, lower 60s, Tampa 57, and Clearwater 58 in Bradenton. This morning, it was freezing yet again. Man, I'm over the cold weather. I'm just going to say it right now. I know some of y'all, Dennis, you know, in July, it's going to be so hot and you're going to be begging for this cold air. No, you're wrong. I'm not going to be begging for this cold air. I like warm temperatures. I do. I'm not going to lie. I like the warm weather. But I did learn that the manatees are far more visible and more interactive with people when it is much colder. Again, something else I learned that we'll be talking about coming up in a couple minutes. So anyway, we dropped down to the mid-30s, Zephyr Hills this morning. Tomorrow morning will not be as chilly as this morning. I mean, it's going to be cold, but it's not going to be nearly as cold as it was this morning or the last several mornings. Outside right now, Tampa 63 degrees under partly cloudy skies, northwest winds at 7. Believe it or not, we were actually warmer than normal. We were warmer than normal today. How about that? We hit 74. 73 is the normal. This morning, we were 8 degrees below average. We dropped down to 47. There's a satellite. We're looking good, and we're going to stay looking good right up until Wednesday evening or Thursday morning. There's futurecast. Skies will be clear. You know, there's maybe a sprinkle or a couple of showers in our northern counties on Wednesday night into early Thursday. But the reality of it is, I don't think we see anything more than a few clouds and maybe a sprinkle. And even more than that, this front will not bring us much colder weather. Matter of fact, I think we go warmer behind the front on Thursday and into Friday. Valentine's Day will be toasty, and I'm not talking romantically. I mean, that's up to you. But it will be toasty weather-wise with high temperatures in the upper 70s to around 80 degrees. So tomorrow morning, we start mid to upper 30s, Crystal River 36, Zephyr Hills 37, Brooksville 37, Wesley Chapel about 38, St. Pete 54, 45 in Apollo Beach, and 48 in Bradenton. There's a look at temperatures, the extended outlook. We're going to be warm. Now, see, this is the way we're used to seeing it. You know, as Floridians, I think we know, look, we'll get our share of cold fronts in the wintertime, but that cold air might last a day or two. That's about it. Well, not this year. This year, obviously, we've had prolonged cold. Next week, that front that we get on Sunday or Monday will drop us down one day, and then we're right back up again by Tuesday and right back up to 80 toward the middle of next week. There's a look at rainfall forecast, mostly sunny skies, no rain, maybe a shower on Thursday. Best chance of showers will be on Sunday. Karen in Crystal River, how you doing? Nice to see you. So Francine took her husband Rick for his 60th birthday looking at the Manatees back in 2020. So I'm reading comments. A lot of y'all have done this before. Apparently I was in the minority because I had never done it, nor had ever really thought about it. I don't know why. I've been here 35 years. It's really bad on me. I should have, based on your comments. There's the 7-day. 75 on Tuesday, 74 on Wednesday, 76 on Thursday, Friday 77. Valentine's Day, we will not have a snuggle alert weather-related. I leave, so therefore snuggling would be voluntary, not mandatory based on weather. And then Sunday and Monday, we might see a couple of showers. So there it is. There's a look at the forecast. Now, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a break, all right? We're going to come back. We're going to talk manatees for a couple of segments, and then our last segment will also go looking at the long range for the timing of the rain coming up on Sunday and Monday. So we're back with my daughter, with Jake, with Paul, with Manatee experts, and I'll be along there for the ride coming up in 90 seconds as Dennis Phillips Live continues. Okay, we are in a break, and we are now taking So we are now, Ryan, where are you? Oh, you got Dipper?
Trying to get the cat.
So Ryan, is Dipper, well, I want to know who ate the Manatee hard drive earlier today. Was that Dipper or was that Frank?
That was Frank.
That was Frank. Okay. Guys, we are live right now. We are on streaming. So the way DPL works is while we are in our commercial breaks, which we are right now, we are still hot on streaming. Deb, how you doing? Now, Deb, you're talking about Spring Bayou. I get it. But let me tell you, as fond as I am of Spring Bayou and Tarpon Springs, trust me, there ain't as many manatees as I saw yesterday because it was insane. And I'm going to be talking. So everybody, by the way, watching on streaming, we have Captain Paul. We have Jake. I guess you're not Captain Jake, right? Right, Jake?
Yeah.
Are you Captain Jake too?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so Jake's a captain, Paul's captain, and then you have captain of my ship, Ryan, which you guys all know Ryan very well. All right, so we are back in 20 seconds from the break, and we're just going to kind of like just go through the day, and I'm going to be sharing a lot of the pictures in the video while we're talking. And feel free to just chat. Okay, we are back in. Ryan, get back. We are on in 4 seconds. Where'd you go? 3, 2. How you doing, everybody? Welcome back to Dennis Phillips Live on the spot. My daughter, Ryan, over here on the right, she was just getting out of a chair, running out. I'm like, Ryan, we're on TV in 3 seconds. Get back. We also have Captain Jake and Captain Paul. Welcome, guys, to Dennis Phillips Live.
Thank you, Dennis. Thanks for having us.
So, Ryan, and Ryan can attest to this, when we talked about the possibility of doing a manatee swim, I was, for the main reason, the water was so stinking cold, I had no interest in going. I just didn't. I thought, hey, maybe this is something that would be better in the summer months. But Jake, and by the way, this way this worked out is Jake was our water tour guide in a sense, and Paul was the captain that brought us into the area. And you guys have been doing this for quite a while, yes?
Yes, long time, over 25 years.
And Crystal River is, I guess, one of the best spots to do it. Now, Ryan, when we went yesterday, what was your hope? What was your anticipation? What did you want to do with the manatees?
I wanted them to hug me, but instead they hugged you.
Well, yes, I did get absconded by one, grabbed me by the leg and started pulling me across the water in a very sweet way, and it was adorable. But I mean, go ahead, Ryan.
Kissed though. I got kissed.
Yes, Ryan got kissed by one of the manatees. So
Yeah.
guys, give the folks a little bit of a background on this, because the one thing that we've been showing so many pictures of late is how the manatees are all huddled together. You know, Three Sisters is a spot that we see a lot of pictures of. But for the folks who are looking to do a manatee excursion, this is really the time of the year. You don't want to go when the water's warm, correct?
Yeah, that's right. When the Gulf temperature gets below 68 degrees, the manatees have to come into the springs to thermal regulate. So yesterday at the King Spring, which is where we were at, there was probably upwards of 400 to 500 manatees congregating at that spring, like you see in your aerial pictures you've been sharing. And that same goes for Three Sisters Springs and Jurassic Springs, all within the Kings Bay. So this is the time of year where the manatees come in herds. You know, we'll probably have over 1,000 manatees in here on the coldest days of the year.
And Jake, you were telling me that, I mean, when the water gets below a certain amount, I mean, it's really dangerous to these animals, and that's why they end up going into the spring, correct?
Absolutely. So when it gets below 68 degrees, that's a critical temperature for them. And they have about 8% body fat on them. So they're very lean animals. They can't thermal regulate. They can't keep their internal organs warm for the winter months. So when the Gulf gets below that number, they come rushing in here to the springs that stay about 72, 73 degrees all year round.
And right here, I'm showing the picture of when the one manatee was kissing Ryan. And it was interesting, and a lot of folks asked about this, and I think this is, you know, people said, I thought you weren't supposed to touch the manatees, but and we watched a video prior to, which I think is mandatory, right? That you have to show that.
Correct.
But they can touch you and they can reach out, and clearly, as you see in this video, that's what they do.
Yeah, they're very inquisitive creatures. I mean, they basically live alone. There's no social dynamic. So when they huddle up together like this, they get very interactive. And when you're being a passive observer in the water and just floating nice and calm like you guys were doing, they do that. They'll come right up and approach you and give you a kiss or hug on your leg.
Yeah, Jake, the word you kept using, I heard you kept saying this, is you were laughing like a kid in a candy store because you clearly were excited about seeing how many there were as well. You kept calling it magical.
It is. It absolutely is. When we have days like we had the other day, it's special for us as guides and as captains to see them coming back year after year.
I mean, I'm showing video right here, and there's just dozens of them. And Ryan, did that surprise you, seeing how many manatees there were?
Yeah, like I didn't really know how many I expected there to be. But when I was like in it and we were like about to go out and we saw like their little like backs like raising out of the water, and like you could like tell where they swam, where they were like there because it was like flat on the water. And then we like got in, and it took it like a little bit to like get to the area, but then once you got there and like you like looked underwater, you could just see like all of them like huddled together.
Yeah, and I mean, it was interesting too because you were talking, guys, that literally they do this because this is what their parents taught them to do. I mean, because if the water, and I want to mention the water as well, because that was my biggest thing. I'm like, man, I'm going to hate this because it's going to be so cold. The tour that we were on with y'all, the wetsuits, you weren't cold. I mean, guys, I'm not just saying that. And you guys know, I talked about it yesterday. I expected to be freezing. You absolutely weren't. And it was 35, 36 degrees in the morning when we got there. And when you're in the water, you absolutely weren't cold. So I think that kind of, for me, was one of the surprising things and probably made it more enjoyable, because if you're freezing in there, it's just not going to be as much fun.
Yeah, one thing that we do is make sure that you have a proper fitting wetsuit. And then we use 5 mil wetsuits, which are a little thicker, and that makes all the difference. It's like putting 2 blankets on versus 1, right? So it keeps you a little warmer, a lot longer in the water. And then when you get out, we got hot chocolate, coffee, try to warm you up from the inside out when you're done.
Well,
yeah,
it worked.
The hot chocolate was so good.
Yes, it was. Now, Ryan, also, in the video, they were teaching you that you're to keep your hands close to your chest like this, right? And not reach out. But again, I mean, you're there and they're just all around you. And it's so hard not to try to reach out and pet them because you want to. But trust me, there's a ton of interaction. I mean, I think you were there with your friend Ellery, and you could just see in your face, and myself included, I just did not expect to see so many. To me, that was the part that was the best. What was the best for you, Ryan?
I liked, so when they were like would come and you were like your float, and they would just like go under you, and it was like when I first did it, like when I was like the first time, like the first like couple minutes when I was there, I was really nervous when they would go under me because I was scared that like I was gonna like hurt them or something. Like I was scared I would start to sink. And when you're on, and they would literally go like this close to you under, and it was like it was cool. It was like
it really was.
You could see all the algae on their backs.
We're looking at more pictures now, guys. So, I mean, and there's people who said you don't have to go on tours. I mean, you can see the manatees if you go on Manatees, but I would say, me personally, I wouldn't know where to begin. I didn't know the right way to do things. And I think for me, that was probably as helpful as anything.
That's a great point. We get people coming from all over the world, and I would say the majority of people do want somebody like Jake or myself to take you out and kind of show you the ropes, right? If you've done this time and time again, sure, you can go out there. I mean, we see them coming down to your area and go out on Clearwater Beach. You see them kind of cruising the beach too. But this experience when done right, is, like Jake said, is just magical.
And we're still showing more pictures here. So for the folks who maybe were on the fence and thinking, maybe I might want to do this, maybe I might not want to do this, when would be the best time? I mean, after seeing this, my gut is you really want to focus on when it's cold.
Yeah, the colder the better. And I know it's hard for people because, like you said, you were afraid you were going to be absolutely freezing in the water. But you're really not because of the suits that we use. So if you watch the Gulf temperature, keep an eye on that. And when it gets, like we talked about, below that 68 degrees, and it's like that for several days in a row, that's what brings all the manatees in to the spring that come in here and hang out to stay warm.
And we offer the tours all year long, but the better interaction and the better experience and see a lot of manatees is, like we're saying, when it's cold.
Okay, so tell you what, we're going to take a quick break. We'll come back and we'll ask a few more questions because a lot of people online are saying, is there tour information? You know, how do we do this? How do we get involved? So we will answer those questions for you in 90 seconds as Dennis Phillips Live continues. Okay, we are on a break. And yeah, now why don't we do that? Now let's talk about, the tour, how people can find you guys, and we'll kind of go from there. Let's see, I'm looking here at some questions. Yeah, people are asking about touching the animals, and I think that video was really helpful too. It was, it kind of, remember, Jake, when you walked in, my first question to you was, what can we do? Because all of the video was telling you what you can't do. And,
yeah.
And it was we were a little nerve-wracking because we're not sure, but yeah. I mean, right, Ryan? I mean, we were just kind of like, what can you do?
It's like I didn't want to do something wrong in the water, but it was also when you got there, you could just kind of tell what you can't do when you're with them. It's just the obvious stuff to not do. It's just
right.
Yeah, and they were so interactive. I mean, I think if there might have only been a couple, people might have been more likely to go after just because they felt as though they weren't able to do the interaction, but we were surrounded by manatees. I just never dreamed it would be anything like that.
We were surrounded by them.
All right, we're back in 3, 2. All right, everybody, welcome back to Dennis Phillips Live. Again, one last quick segment here because a lot of folks are asking on social. So first of all, how cold was the water? It was 72, and guys, it's always 72 there, right?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, in the springs. So people are asking, how do we take part? How do we find the tours? So guys, go ahead and let people know how they can get involved. I mean, there's lots of companies, there's lots of places up there. I just wanted to share what I experienced yesterday, and Paul and Jake were awesome. So we figured it would be just a good way for you to kind of get an idea of what we did.
Yeah, we have a little hotel here, so if you wanted to make a night of it, you could come up and stay the night at Paddletail Waterfront Lodge, and then we're the Adventure Center. So if you go to Paddletail Waterfront, you'll go to the website, and you can book directly on the website, or you can give us a call.
All right. Yeah, it was just, when you drive into Crystal River, for me personally, I think of scalloping. And we talked about that as well. Yeah, I guess, there's a season, right? So there's a manatee season. And even though you might see some in the summer, I think we kind of turn our attention more towards scallops, yes?
That's right. We do that as well. Jake and I both are captains, and we take people scalloping in the summertime.
Well, and that's my wheelhouse, as is Ryan. Ryan, you love to scallop, don't you?
I love scalloping, yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. So guys, again, thank you so much. That was something that I will remember forever. And again, one more time, how folks can contact y'all if they want to experience what we did?
You can go to swimmingwiththemanatees.com. That's our website address. And you can book right online, or you can go to the phone number and give us a call, and we'll make the reservation for you.
All right, and the cold weather is sticking around for a little while. So again, I do suggest strongly, and this is something I learned, this is the time. And if you're afraid to do it because it's too cold, I wouldn't be. I mean, that was the one thing that I was shocked about. You're warm in those wetsuits, and even when you get out, it just really wasn't that bad. And it was the pictures that we have. And Ryan, did it exceed your expectations? Was it just one of the best things you've done?
Yeah, it was so fun.
Yeah, and she had her friend there with her, and they had their little underwater cameras that we got, the little waterproof cameras that we brought with us. And by the way, we took it to Walgreens. It takes 2 weeks to get those things developed. I'm like, what?
Also, they sell like in like the shop there, like where it has like all like the manatee stuff. They also sell like little like pouches that you can put your phone in. So like you can like take videos and pictures underwater with your phone, and that's what I did. So I have like videos and stuff.
Yeah, and of course, you know, when your daughter says they sell things, yes, they do. And of course, we bought. What else is new? So, guys, thank you so much for yesterday. Thank you for the time, and really was a blast. And hopefully we'll talk to you again soon.
Absolutely. Thanks for having us.
Thank you for having us. We'll see you in July for scalloping, Ryan.
Sounds good. Oh, yeah, she's excited. That's her thing. All right, guys, have a great night. We'll
Cheers.
continue in 90 seconds. Our last break on DPL. Thanks, guys. Okay, we're on a last break. What was that, Jake?
Huh?
We just said cheers.
Oh, I didn't see the Dr. Pepper. Oh, wait a minute. I gotta have you guys back in after the break then, because I missed that. So, yeah, Ren just said, what happened to 1 hour photo processing? No lie. We brought those cameras, and I said, how long is it going to be? It's like 2 weeks. What? I mean.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Oh,
yeah. I mean, maybe it's because you just, you know, it's not like the film. Because they used to have, remember they used to have those little 1 hour photo booths? Or don't you remember those? All right, so we have 50 seconds left. We'll come out the last break. I'll say, guys, they had Dr. Pepper. I had to show them one last time. So, yeah, and so let me see. What are the questions we're getting here? Is there a time of the day that's better, morning or afternoon?
Morning is better.
Okay.
The earlier, the better.
Yeah, we were in the morning.
Yeah.
You get in those late afternoons when it warms up to 80, then it makes it a little, then they start engaging in feeding and they want nothing to do with us.
Oh, okay. Don't know that.
There was one that was sleeping on the ground. Like there was like, cause it was like, there was like little spots where you could like stand. Like usually you have to like keep your like feet straight.
All right, just a second. We're back in 3, 2. Ryan's telling a story. And by the way, I just had to bring the guys back because I missed what they had. Go ahead.
Cheers.
And they had some Diet Dr. Pepper on the boat with me. So that was awesome. I think, was it your, Paul, was it your wife? Yeah, that's what I thought. All right, again, guys, thank you very much. Appreciate it. You have a great night, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thanks again, guys.
All right. See you, Ryan. Thanks. See you, sweetie. Love you. Bye.
Love you.
Okay, so that was awesome. Yeah, like I said, it's just a really, really fun time. And in terms of the weather, yeah, I want to quickly call up some of the models for this weekend. All right, I want to be able to cover that as well. We gave you the forecast, but I do want to show you what we're talking about here in terms of the long range. Here's a look at the Euro. And if you remember, you know, the Euro was a little more aggressive with our rain chances coming up. This is Saturday. This is Valentine's Day. Looks like everything's a little bit slow, so we're going to be good on Valentine's Day. There's the Euro, there's the GFS. They're both good. Pretty close to being identical, honestly. Sunday morning, 7 o'clock, still dry. By Sunday evening, another front comes through. Maybe some snow across the mid-Atlantic if this low gets going. The GFS is a little bit slower, but similar. So tomorrow night, we'll talk a lot more about that. That's still a good 7 days out. So we all know 7 days out is lukewarm at best in terms of accuracy. But we'll definitely be discussing that. Tomorrow morning, we start mostly in the 40s, sunny skies all day, and finally warmer temperatures are back for the rest of the week. So thanks for watching Dennis Phillips Live on the spot and streaming. Have a great night, and we'll see you on tomorrow night's show. Okay, so we are out on TV. So let me answer some questions. Adam wants to know Daytona 500 forecast. I think the 500 is dicey. The start time is I can't remember. It's on Sunday. I know that. So I'm curious, I can't remember what time it actually starts. Is that an afternoon or an evening? Remind me on that, Adam. How's the weekend in Atlanta looking, Jennifer wants to know? All right, let's go ahead and look at the models. So there's some rain on Saturday. Well, maybe. I think it holds off until Sunday. Looks as though right now it is a rain event on Sunday morning, Sunday afternoon, and Sunday evening with snow north. So Atlanta looks to have some rain on Sunday. Daytona, the rain chance looks to be about 7 o'clock on Sunday night through the early evening. So if it's a 2:30 race time, Eric says, I think you'll probably be okay. Thank you, Suncoast Skywarn spotters. I appreciate it. You know, again, look, I never know what direction this show is going to go, especially if there's not a lot of weather to talk about. But I had so much fun doing that yesterday. And like I said, I was not looking, when that alarm went off and they were saying that the mornings are obviously much better than the afternoons for obvious reasons. But when that alarm went off, I'm kind of like, I just don't want to do this because it was early and I didn't feel like freezing my butt off in that cold water. I just was really not looking forward to going. I was maybe as shocked as anything that I've ever done because my son Jake loved it. My daughters loved it. I loved it. I honestly thought, I was really afraid that we weren't even going to see any manatees. That was my fear. I'm like, I'm going to drive an hour and a half, because Crystal River is like an hour and a half and from where I live, and we weren't going to see anything. And I'm going to be like, this stinks. I couldn't have been more wrong. I mean, 100, 150 manatees right up in you. I mean, again, the one, he literally dragged me, or she, don't know which, but look, had her flipper, or his, wrapped around my leg and was like just pulling me. I mean, it was crazy. I just did not expect it. I just did not expect it. Driving to Virginia Beach this weekend, you'll be fine, Mark. I do think you're running into some rain on Sunday. And yes, they supplied the suits. And that's the other thing, Claudia. Again, look, there's absolutely people who know what they're doing, and they go up on their own and they swim, and that's awesome. But you probably would not have somebody who knew less what they were doing than me. I had no idea, clueless, right? So for me, it was perfect because I didn't know where to go. I mean, I probably could have figured that one out, but I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what I needed to, I didn't know any of it, right? So this was literally, you show up, they show you the video of what you're not supposed to do. They give you the wetsuit. They take you out. You have a tour guide with you. And there were lots of tour guides. There were probably, I don't know, look at this. It's kissing Ryan right here. Look at that. Look at that. It's absolutely kissing Ryan. And there's a little underwater camera that I bought, which has a 2-week turnaround time. 2 weeks to get that thing developed. So we're waiting to see how the pictures go. But for somebody like me, and like I said, there were several tours out there where they had guides, and the guides were kind of telling people, and the big thing was, no, that's not a shark. That's not a shark. Because there were tarpon out there. I mean, there were some 7-foot tarpon out there. And of course, the people who weren't from the area, oh, it's a shark. No, it's a tarpon. But, and in fact, I think there's a video, actually, wait a minute, hold on. I think there's some video of the tarpons. So check this out. Yeah, see? So, for somebody who is clueless like me, it was exactly what I needed, because otherwise I wouldn't have known what to do. So anyway, that's about it. I had a wonderful time. The weather was perfect, and I cannot recommend it enough. So anyway, the springs are 72 all year round. In the summertime, you love them. I mean, right? When I lived in Gainesville, I had to go to Jenny Springs all the time in the summer because it's 90 degrees out, and then you go to the springs and it's nice and refreshing, and you ride a tube and you tube down the springs, right? I mean, that's what you do in the summertime. And I'd seen videos of Three Sisters, And, you know, I knew that it existed, but I even noticed on that, you know, there's a partition that keeps you away from the manatees in Three Sisters area. And I noticed on some of the pictures that we posted that there were people outside that. So I just didn't realize that you were kind of surrounded by it. I really didn't. Boy, Bonnie, I don't know. I'll tell you. It's, I mean, you know, March is going to be the month. No, the water was clear. It did not smell. It was, I don't know. I just can't say enough good things about it. So anyway, guys, I'm going to grab some dinner. Tomorrow, I think we might have a guest tomorrow. I can't remember who. We have lots and lots of things coming up over the next few weeks. We have people from the Lightning are going to be on with us every week while the Winter Games are going on. We've got Feeding Tampa Bay. We have got the Strawberry Festival folks. We've got lots and lots of stuff coming up while the weather is pretty quiet. So thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it. And we will see you on tomorrow night's edition of Dennis Phillips Live. You guys have a great night.